Hey, everybody. I am, I'm like just sitting in my chair going, come on, noon, come on, noon, let's go, let's go. So I'm so excited for today's book club. Hey, Betty Boop. Betty Boop is already on Podbean. Rebecca and Fawn are in the chat on YouTube. And if my background noises are very loud or distracting, I apologize. Um, for some reason, I'm very hyper. I didn't even have like my caffeine yet. Like I give myself caffeine once a day for this exact reason. Woo, let's go. And I am like bouncing. I'm just bouncing today. Okay, Betty Boop Fun and Rebecca are all in the chat. If you guys want to go ahead and call in so we can all chat about today's question. So excited about today's question. Oh my gosh. Okay, first up is Rebecca. Hey, Rebecca.
Good morning.
Hey, when you start making tamales, I want you to, I'm going to order some. We'll figure out how to dry ice them, freeze them and send them to me. I'm going to tell you something. I've never in my life had a tamale.
What?
I know, I know. I have never ever in my life had not one tamale. How is that possible? How?
They're everywhere.
I know. Do you know what? The first time I had hey Catherine, hey Shelly, the first time I had empanadas, which oh my god, they blew my mind, was in when I was actually in Colombia, and the best empanadas came from this little old man selling them on the street. And like this, he was just walking down the street with this like container that kept them warm. They were the best empanadas I'd ever eaten. And I've gone many places since then to try to have good empanadas again, and cannot find them. Cannot have like they were. I don't know what this guy did to them, but they were so good.
The filling, it's about the filling. What they put inside is what makes it taste so good.
Yeah.
And empanada.
Yeah.
There's sweet. There's like chicken, but pie, stuff like that. They put food in there. They're all different. It depends where you go.
Yes, yes, and that's true. That's very very true. I even found a little Colombian restaurant in my area, and I thought, well, they're gonna nope. Was not it. Okay, is anybody else calling in today? Betty Boop, are you going to call in and participate in the book club? Here we go, go. Betty Boop is on the line, Fawn is on the line, Catherine and Shelly are in the chat. In a second, we're going to get started with today's question. I want you guys, I just want to give a few seconds for a couple more people to come in. And for those who might be new, who might be watching, who are not part of the book club yet, every Tuesday at noon, we are doing What If a Transformational Guide. Which way do I turn it? That way. What If a Transformational Guide. And I did channel this book. All the questions in here came from above. And whenever I write a book, I second guess myself to the nth degree. I have a whole book sitting. I have like 5 books sitting in my phone and one that's already ready to go. It just needs to be edited. But I know everybody does this, and this goes with today's question, which is ironic. I get so nervous, and then I start thinking, well, really, why, is this really like whatever, like, but they're all channeled. Everything I think when I sit down, I think I know what I'm gonna write, and then I end up writing completely different things. So my books with my poems and my meditations, they were all guided and channeled and brought through me. So today's as was this one. So today's question, we're going to get into today's question. What if everything you want is right behind everything you don't? And as we're thinking about this question, one of the most important things I want to say is whether you have the book or not, you can participate in the book club. If you want to order the book, because there are questions, like it's all the way. And I could have done 3 of these books. There were so many questions, and I probably will do another one. Um, but if you want to order the book, it's the link is um, in the description plus on YouTube. Rebecca was kind enough to put the link for us. So, what if everything you want is right behind everything you don't? Is such a huge, huge question, because we often stay at a job or stay with a person or stay with friends or stay in a house or stay in whatever it is we stay in because we think a couple of thoughts. What if there's not a better job? What if it ends up being the same? What if I go someplace else and I get fired? Or if it's a person, like I often hear so many people say to me, but is there anybody better out there? Well, I'm going to tell you this. If you're asking that question, being alone would be better than being with that person at this point. I'm sorry, but if that's the only reason you're staying with someone, like I like to make a lot of jokes and try to make things kind of light, because this world can be heavy enough on its own. So if I make jokes, please don't be offended. I have to remember to say that on my show on Mondays and Wednesdays, because sometimes I can just take a joke a little too far, I think. I think I did that yesterday with a question about will my ex unblock me? I need to stop. We're not going there. But okay, back to the book. Um, but what if everything you want, we complain about our job, we complain about our partner, we complain about these things, but what if what we want is right behind what we don't, but what if also we have to let go of what we don't want to get what we want? So in partner, I believe you should, kind of let go of your partner before you end up in a new. It doesn't always happen that way, and I have no judgment about that. But with a job, what if starting that side business? What if looking for that new job? What if what if you do that and you find what you're looking for? And I do believe in life that that is the case when you let go, when you start, depending on the situation again, when you let go of what you don't want, when you start to emotionally disconnect from what you don't want, whatever it is, even in health, and we can't talk too much about health on here, but when we let go of the, how do I say this? The thinking about or being about the health thing, and we move into what's going right instead of what's going wrong, you would be amazed at how much that changes everything. So I want to open it up to whoever wants to go first on this and tell me, if you knew what you wanted was right behind what you didn't, what would you do? What would your, hey, Sal, what if everything I think I want is not what my higher self wants? Oh my God, that's a whole nother that's a whole, so that is so, oh my gosh. Because so yes, what if we can't make up our mind about what we want? Or what if we think we want it, but then we second guess ourselves about wanting it? Or what if what we want, we think we're not supposed to have it for whatever reason? Sal, Sal, throwing the what would that the curveball question in there. Um, the reason I believe the reason we want things is because it's a part of our path. It's a part of our journey. It's a part of our it's a part of what we're supposed to have. Now we can choose to pursue it or not. And even the things that other people would judge, they're still part of our journey in some way. Um, for whatever reason. I personally believe that. Sal, keep going in the chat. Okay, who wants to go first on the phone line? Who wants to talk about this?
I'm still sorry, it's Rebecca, but I'm still in the figuring out what I want.
Okay.
Like it's there, but what? Not. It's not that I'm afraid. I'm hearing everything you're saying, Toni, and I'm like, okay, but what do, like I said yesterday, I want it all. And it's like, I just feel like I need that one little push, go do that, and then do this. I don't know how to answer this question.
No, I completely get it, because sometimes there is a point where we begin to open up, or we begin to have that experience where we want it all, and we might not know how to go and get it, or we might not know how to start it, or and that's usually when, and I if I and anybody correct me or give your personal experience on this. I think when we're like 16 or 18, most people go through that, like, I want it all, I can conquer the world, unless we've had something happen, unless we're thrown into circumstances, unless it's been jurisdicted for us, right? So, one of the things I'd say for you, Rebecca, is write it all out. Write out everything you want, just to keep it clear in your head. Write it all out, allow it to unfold in that way. Just allow it to unfold with the written word. And as you're first, write out everything you want, and then go to each thing and open it up more, define it, explore it, give
Yes,
it.
and that's what I did. I have a whole list. I put right now I'm in a journey where I want to go to the next point of what am I going to do with my career life. And I am going to do the side hustle of selling food as well, but I also want a job career. And now that my kids are all grown up, so I'm making a list of all the high companies that I know of. And I'm even thinking of going the old school way, where you go to the company and ask them, hey, do you do training for this? Do you do training for that? To help out my kids in case they open a company as well, I can be there to help them as well. And I'm talking about like dispatching for truckers. My kids talk about it so much that I don't understand it. And I'm like, what about if I get a job there doing that? And another thing, Toni, the book. When I purchased your book, it's so big, and I'm like, oh my God. And I read the sentence, I'm like, why is there so much space? Every time we did one of the online book, I actually write the information I give out, and I read it, and then I go back the following week, and then I'm like, wait, now I have a different suggestion, and I put it under there. So I'm thankful that you have this whole page for me to write on.
There's and I have said this whenever I talk about this book, when there's the question and there's this open, and then you turn to let's see if I can just get one page here. You go to the next page, and there's all of that. And I tell people, the first time you go through it, have a notebook. And the first time you go through it, use your notebook, because your answers are going to change. And that's the evolving the process of evolving. That's the process of, and even if you don't have the book, because of whatever reason, if you don't have the book, as we go through this, and this is on YouTube and on Podbean, so you can come back and re-listen to the questions, and go back to the first one, and you can just have paper and write it out, or in your phone, put it in your notes or wherever you'd put it. And because you're going to find that as you answer this today, or whatever you come up with as you're going through the book or listening, that it starts to change. And I want to say to you, and I want you to know with every ounce of your being, this is a limitless world. I I know, even okay, so as I say this, I know, like, the person, there's spirit speaking and then there's me speaking. So I'll try to differentiate. Me would say, even when I'm trying to manifest and think, I go back to my default of my upbringing, or what I know, or what I've had in the past, because that's the comfort zone. And once we totally annihilate and break our comfort zone, we can end up in a space that is unbelievable, just like we would have never ever thought possible. So as we do that, we can be very in very different spaces. Now, spirit would say it in a way of, this world is limitless. There is no confines for any person here on this plane. And I'm going to give a few examples. And even if I don't agree with the examples, personally, I'm going to use them, because they just show the possibilities. Okay. One is, if you look at some of the singers out there, whether it be rap, trap, pop, country, some of the people who come from nothing, but they know they're going to, and they don't let go, and they see themselves in that space, and they end up very famous and very in front of people with so much money. That is one example. Or the person who comes from, like, not the greatest upbringing, but ends up running a Fortune 500 company. I don't know. I'm just throwing out examples here. Or um, when we hear these stories or see stories about people who can make donations of more than most people would even comprehend making in a lifetime. All of these things are showing us there are no limits. No matter what you're doing or want to do, there are no limits. And Rebecca, there's a training program, like a certificate for dispatching. I saw it when I was scrolling, but it's like just like a regular, like, you know how people get life coaching certificates and stuff like that. There was a dispatching certificate that you could get. I think, I'm pretty positive I saw it on Facebook. So you might want to put into Facebook, dispatching certificate. I think it was like $49. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. And I think that would be awesome. Dispatchers make really good money too. They make very good money, 100%. Um, so, okay. So if the world is limitless, and if we indeed are supposed to have everything and be able to do everything. What does that change for you? Okay, and then also on top of that, what is the thing you don't want in your life that you've been holding on to? Okay, who's next? On the phone, does Fawn? Fawn, usually you're like on it, on it. Come on, Fawn, where are you?
I'm here. Good
Okay.
afternoon.
Hey.
This one really stumped me. I thought about it and literally was not getting anywhere with it. It's really, really hard for me. It's a lot of overthinking, I think. So for me, the only thing I came up with is that for me, I'm always worried that certain decisions I make that other people are maybe entangled in my life, that I have to think about everybody so much that if I make the wrong decision, then if I make a certain decision, then it's going to affect so many other people. So I'm still kind of in that stage of like people pleasing versus going straight forward and going out. And just to be clear with you, my circumstances being stuck here in Florida, I don't like it here and I'm not staying here now. Your book has helped me tremendously, Toni. It's really helped me. And I have to say, I appreciate all your help because you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart for free, you know? And I just want to tell you, thank you so much. But I have a lot of overthinking and worrying about life lessons and like, did I do everything? And I'm going to use the word God. I don't know if that's okay with everybody. Yeah. Did I do everything that God wanted me to do in this circumstance? Is this circumstance done with the life lesson and the karma? Is it okay for me to go forward and leave? That's where I'm at, because I think a little bit too much about making the right decisions for God because I don't want to make bad decisions while I'm here. And so that kind of holds me back in a way. And so I like that you're opening me up more to more windows and more clarity to see that maybe it isn't that. Maybe I just need to go and be myself and not worry about all the people pleasing. So there's your answer.
Okay, Fawn, there's so much I want to say, and I didn't want to interrupt you, which is really hard for me. So, yeah, Sal says on YouTube, you guys, if you could write testimonials and put them on Amazon where you bought the book, that would be amazing. Thank you, Sal. Okay, so first of all, what if you can't make a bad choice? What if there is no right or wrong choice? What if it's just a choice because we're here to explore, we're here to learn, we're here to grow. When my feet come up, I know you guys can't see my legs, but when my feet come up and I'm like, let the channeling begin. And what if for everybody listening, what if just like, let's look at it this way. What if you're not supposed to do what you're doing for everybody else, letting them be? And I don't want to say letting them be or being, and I don't be offended by this term because to a certain extent we all are being codependent with your decisions based on other people that are full grown adults. Now I want to just elaborate a little bit. It's okay when we want to help people, we want to love people, we want to be a part of their life and intermingle. But the reason we are here is we have a journey, and our journey, we should never be in a position where we are someplace we don't want to be. So we have to find, so you don't love Florida, you don't want to be in Florida. The biggest thing I can say for that is find a place that you love and want to be, even if you're not sure about it yet, and then let that be your guide to your move. Instead of, I always say, don't run from something, run to something.
Yes.
So that's one. Number two, eventually at some point, and I don't want to make assumptions here, all the reasons you're saying you're staying or what you're doing for other people, eventually, and I understand with people who are a little bit older, like parents, it might be a little bit different, but the self-sufficiency has to kick in at some point, right? Or you can help in different ways, if that makes sense. does that make sense? Am I saying that correctly for you, love?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. But the bigger thing, the most important thing in this life, there's no, we can't, we can't look at everything in life as, is this the right choice or the wrong choice? Because the only choice is the one that feels good to you for you. So if you are trying to make a choice of, let's say, where you want to live, what you want to do, what direction you want to go in, have that check in with your feelings and allow yourself to base it on that. Don't allow yourself to base, first of all, decisions on, is this karmically correct? And I've said this
That's
before.
exactly what my worry is. You just said it.
And let me say this to you. Let me say this, and I 100% believe, I want to, everybody thinks of karma only as a negative thing because we took that cookie when we were 5, or we took change out of our mother's purse when we were 12, or so we're still suffering karmic. Nope. Unless you are a really bad, narcissistic, toxic, whatever person, nobody has that much bad karma. Now, if there's bad karma, is there not good karma? So everything that we've done that has been good or kind has also come out. And I'm just going to say, then we would have all this good karma coming also, is what I was going to finish that statement. And here's the other thing about karma. Karma says whatever energy you live in, or however you live, that is what you are going to be surrounded by. So if you are living in deceit, you are going to be surrounded by deceit. If you are living in the thievery, you'll be surrounded by thievery. And the karma comes where you're constantly worried. Let's say you're a cheater or a liar or a thief, just for example, then you're constantly nervous about those things happening to you. And maybe they will, maybe they won't. Maybe it was part of the journey. Maybe this was something that was supposed to happen because of whatever reason, who knows why. And maybe it won't happen. But we have to base our decisions not on what we think or feel might be karmically correct, because what's karmically correct for you will not be karmically correct for other people. So let's change the word karma to, is this in my like highest good? Is this going to help me to evolve? Is this going to help me live a fuller life? And that is what evolving is about. Is this going to bring me happiness and joy? And that's really, that is what life is about. And thank you for the compliments about the book, because, and for me doing this, I really, one of my things, first and foremost, I want to help as many people as possible while I'm here. I, as we may know from a couple of the past shows, myself and many people on this plane may not have had the best, it's not the worst upbringing, but we may have gone through things as when we were younger. And we, for those that are seeking change and healing, and just to evolve in any way, or just to have different perspectives and answers about life, it's really important to me to be able to, in any way I can, help. And I do believe, I really do, I don't believe I can do it. I don't believe I'm doing it on my own. I don't have any sense of grandiose on that. But if enough people start to just shift their mind, their thinking, their beliefs, that they're not bad people, and the things that we went through that were bad, that happened to us, or that just happened, or that we did, they were not, they do not define us, and they do not get to, what's that, choreograph our life for the rest of our life. These are things that happened, and then we move on. And if we can shift or heal, and I do believe shifting, the word that is in order to shift is to heal, things that happened at any point in our life, then the more people that do that, the more this plane's energy will change, and then it will automatically start happening for other people who just are in that energy. Plus, I know what it's like to be in a space where things maybe have happened, and we don't know where to go or what to do, and we don't want to be medicated, if you will. We know there's a way to heal and have answers, and this is my way of doing that, to hopefully help people who are seeking that. So thank you, Fawn. I'm going to read Catherine's response here. Catherine says, I think many of us moms defer some dreams because of childcare, etc. And then when kids leave home, we can dream again. Change jobs, relationships, following your heart takes a lot of bravery. It does. Oh my gosh, Catherine. And that is such a valid point, because I know, when you have children, men men who have children that are married, the wife is the one who, the mom is the one who, in most cases, gives up the outside life, let's just call it, and the kids become the purpose, the drive, the focus. And then once they are, grown up and out of the house, and you've slept and rejuvenated, you had time to take a nice long nap, then you can start to chase your dreams. And it is. And I will say this, what a difference, first of all, a year makes in the job market, especially in today's world. But if you were in the job market and you went out of it even for a year or two while your children were young, and you go back into it, it's a different beast. It is a completely different thing. But I cannot tell you the number of women I know that at the age of 50, 60, 70, I even had an 80-year-old in my office that is like single and still like looking for love and doing her own little thing on the side, like having her own little business on the side. It does take bravery, but if you have the belief system, it's never too late. You're still young and you have time to do this. It's just one step in front of the other. It can have some amazing results. Women are some of the most creative people, and we can really put some things out there that can change the world. I mean, of course, men can. We see that all the time. We see it all the time, every day. But when you watch a woman who has raised children and getting back out there, whether it's on in their own business or for a company, it's really something to be seen. It can be pretty amazing. So yeah. Um, Hey, reach out today. Thanks for joining. Today's Tuesday. We're doing book club Tuesday. The question of the day is, what if everything you want is behind everything you don't? And we're just discussing it. If you want to call in and join the conversation, you can. Hey, Tiha, thank you for joining on Podbean. Okay, Betty Boop, do you want to add? Do you want to add to it at all?
I do.
Good. Yes. Yes.
Thanks for having me. I'm sorry I don't want to just talk until I'm invited to
Oh,
talk.
it's okay. You guys can all talk like in a. Thank you for that. That's very kind. But go ahead, love. Go ahead.
Okay, so I resonated with the last caller when she said that, she didn't want to live in the same space anymore. And I've been shifting out of my space for it's almost a year already that I've been working on relocating. And what I had to do was I had to make a decision because I was manifesting like a different space for myself, but it just wasn't coming together, and something else like came together a little bit more smooth. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna, just so I can move out of where I'm at, I'm gonna take this, backup situation and move forward there. And everything went smooth. Like I applied for the apartment, I got approved, and like I had this momentum going. And then every Friday for the past month, they keep telling me I'm going to move. And then on Thursday, they tell me, oh, this paperwork hasn't been done, and then it's another week and then another week. And I mean, it's out of my hands at this point, but it's frustrating even when like you're doing the work, but the universe hasn't signed off on the final approval. It's just like I can't tell you how many times my wind has been out of my sails that I'm just like collapsed on my bed with my dog at this point. Because I'm just like, I don't know what else to do. I've done everything to help myself, and it still just hasn't taken place.
I completely understand. And so here's a perfect example of we can be ready, but there's a timing to everything. So we kind of have to allow the timing to come, which you're doing a really good job of. And sometimes not getting in that quickly or staying where you, it can be also a safety thing. So I know people who they're getting ready to leave and they forgot something, or they get a phone call or whatever it is, and they leave 10 minutes later and they find out there was a huge like wreck um directly where they would have been going. So I always say, patience, which you have plenty of, and allowing is another thing. But if we put it out there and we want it with our heart and our head, it's going to come. It will be there. And I do believe with all of my heart that in the cases of relocation, it's really we're changing literally the foundation that we're standing on. And whatever energy we are going into, because there's a certain energy where we are, there's an energy to your personal home, your neighborhood, your city, your state. And when we are relocating, even if it's to a new neighborhood or just a new home, a new city, whatever it is, our energy is also getting ready for that change. We want to make sure we're prepared on every level for it. So we have to start visualizing, we have to start, um, you know, feeling that change.
Okay.
But there's also a lot of fear with relocating. It's one of the most stressful, but one of the biggest things that people can do is to relocate. If it's just from one house to the next or from state to state, there's a lot of fear because we're going into a lot of unknowns. But again, if we're feeling like it's time, that's the universe letting us know it's time, it's okay. We're going to guide you. And as long as you listen to that guidance, you should end up in the right space. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but there's also a fear of staying where you are.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm afraid that I won't get out of here.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now I am going to say this. We're in a 9 year, and I've said this quite a bit this year. Next year will be like a 1 year. Um, and in a 9 year, all the closings, we're closing out things. And then when we start the next year, things have ended and we're ready to just move and be in new jobs, new relationships, or take the relationship and the if we stay in the same relationship or the home or job, we move up, we expand it. But there's also the whole ending of, like Rebecca, ending one career and going into another one, or changing careers, or having your career but starting something new. And you would be amazed at how many people are going to be through this year and next year and even into the next, are just going to be taking those steps and just either by choice or by force, moving into the next place. Now sometimes when we say to the universe, I want this, I want that, or if we're complaining about something, the universe will move us out of it. God will move us out of it and put us into something new, right? Without a doubt. So it's always better that if you don't want where you are, if you're not happy with where you are, what you have, what you're doing, to take those steps. I cannot tell you the number of times my friend sat and complained. I mean, I'm just talking about my friends right now. Just they had no good words for their man. Not one good word for their man. And then they lost him and they cried and cried. He was the best thing that ever happened to me. Last week, he was a low down nothing. You were wishing somebody else would take him. And now that somebody did, you're here crying. You haven't said a nice word about him in like a year and a half. You've been steady telling the universe in a way, without without realizing it, you were done with dude. And the same thing with jobs. We will complain and complain and complain about the job we have, the work we have, our boss, but then when it's gone, we're like, that I'm never going to find anything like that again. Instead, we have to say, um instead of saying, and this is just an example, instead of saying, I don't want this job, it stinks. One of the things Rebecca's doing that I love is, oh my gosh, I know there's all these opportunities out here. I want to try them all. I want to start doing things. I'm going to start getting on top of things. So instead of saying, I don't like my boss, say, you know what? I'm going to have a boss that's amazing. I don't like my job. Say, oh my gosh, am having a job that I absolutely adore, that pays me and it has the best benefits. Or, oh my gosh, I am starting, and use the I am. I am is one of the most powerful statements we can make. So never use it with negativity. Always use it with positive statements. And then, like, I am in a place where that I love. I am in a home that I love. I am getting approved for this, that, or the other thing. And don't, with no question, even if you're not there now, just make the statements that put you in that place and in that state of mind. You're going to be, yeah, go ahead, love.
Can I ask, and I don't know if Fawn will answer this, but I just wanted to, because you're bringing up a lot of good points here, and
Ask anything, it's fine.
okay, so because I feel like we're in a similar situation where you're like, okay, this is like the old version of me. I'm ready to move forward. You know, like this served me, and I was grateful for it. But you know, you're stepping into your new self. So did you, or have you also found that you've all of a sudden just decided that like some people are not going to go with you to the next location? Because
exactly. Yeah, no,
okay.
Yeah, you have to part with people that aren't on your energy level anymore. And if those people are holding you back, you have to put your boundaries up and go forward. That's what I'm going to have to do.
Okay, because I'm doing it now, and so I'm like, okay, is this
You're doing the right thing?
Okay.
Yeah, and I just want to add to that. Don't wait to move. Like if somebody, and I will stand on this all day, if someone is not being good to you or good for you, and it's so hard to do because if you have that, first of all, if we were brought up in a situation where we were in an unhealthy or toxic bring up with siblings or family members that were not good to us, but we were taught to be good to them or to, oh, I know they did this, but you know, their family. We have learned behavior that even when someone is bad to us, we keep them in our life and put up with it. And that is something that needs to be so unlearned and let go of. People are either good to you, good for you, or they are not. And in a lot of cases, some really good people will do things that we might consider not good. But there are people out there that just are not good to other people. They're just not good. And they've gotten away with it because they hang around with people that feel guilty for either calling them on their poop or walking away, whether it's family or not. I want you to unlearn the behavior of putting up with. And I will tell you personally, it is very peaceful to not have people in your life that I'm doing double negatives here. It is very peaceful to let go of people that are not good to you, and that in order to raise your frequency, sometimes you have to let go of what's not there. And I want to use energy in an example here. And Sal, I want to read your comment in a moment because your comment is so good and so important. Imagine you are a ball of energy that goes 6 feet out. But now imagine everybody you come into contact with, your ball of energy, your 6-foot energy around you touches everybody you're in contact with. That's why when they see you, they can say, "Oh, is everything okay today?" Or, "Oh, wow." You see them change and they're automatically in a better mood or happier. Or you might see them, get on guard. But now let me put this the other way where you're really going to get it. Everybody else is also a 6-foot ball of energy. So when somebody else is, and that's, think about the 6-foot rule. Think about the 6-foot rule. By the way, just a little side note, I wish we would go back to people staying 6 feet behind us when we're checking out. Stop pushing your cart up on people or walking up on them when they're still paying. Unless you're paying for my groceries, you do not need to be that close to me when I am checking out or anybody else. Back up. Just back up. There is no reason for you to look like we came into this store together and we are walking out together. 6 feet, ma'am. 6 feet. Am I wrong? Somebody tell me if I'm wrong.
No, I'm preach. That's right on.
So
Right
when somebody else is 6 feet of energy coming into your energy, you, if they are a lower frequency, you'll start to feel your energy fall a little bit and maybe not even understand why. You're starting to get a little bit tired, a little bit drained, feel a little like on edge or angry. You're feeling their energy. Now, when somebody comes into your energy that's very depressed, you might either feel instinctively like you have to make them, you start feeling like you need to do something to make somebody feel happy or joke or whatever, or you start to feel your energy come down. A lot of times with people, and this is something that is I've never ever heard anyone talk about this. We know about what they call energy vampires, that when we're with them, we start to feel drained. Now imagine this, when you're a very giving person and you're with somebody who you want to make feel better, all of your energy, you're keeping your energy up and making them feel better. But then the next day or after they leave, you plummet. You just crash and you need to sleep, or you need to pull yourself back together, or you're so depleted, you feel sad or depressed or whatever we want to call it. That's another thing that lets you know that that person, like you, they didn't take maybe, but you were just giving so much in that point in time, and now you have to rebuild. So when we're in each other's energy, right, we're exchanging energy, we're meshing energy. So this is another reason that we want to be very discerning about the people that we're in the energy with, especially if we're not in a position to control the energy. So, for example, a speaker that's on stage or a boss is controlling the energy. Somebody who's at let's say working, they are controlling their area. But when you're with people on a friend level or just in a restaurant or at a concert, there's a lot of chaotic energy and different energies going on in those spaces. You don't control that. And then, but they may know how to. So you want to be, excuse me, very, very careful of who and how we're spending our time with, whether it's work, home, or friends. And we want to make sure that if it's possible, we are surrounding ourselves with people that have good intentions and good energy. I want to do a clearing really quick, and then I'm going to read Sal's comment. I want to do a clearing for overthinking. So we're going to heal, clear, release any overthinking, any obsessive thinking, which is a really big thing, and anything that's stopping or blocking us from moving forward in the way we need to move forward or want to move forward. So Sal is saying, I usually request that the universe to situations in my life that help me improve my skills in order to accept what I want. I love that, Sal. And then his second one is project orange behind you. Watch them back up. Okay, if you put, I think what he's saying, if you project that orange is behind you, they'll back up. That's awesome. And another thing, you guys, there's this thing that you have to request. So if you're around people that may not be having the best energy, you can just say, if they're coming around, you can say something to the effect of, protect my energy from this, protect me from this. And here's one that you should only do if you're ready to spend a lot of time alone. And people think they're ready to do it, but they're not. They are not. It's very, very different. It's a very different situation. But if you say, remove people from my life that are not honorable, remove people from my life that are using me, abusing me, talking badly behind my back, be careful with that one because you will lose a lot of people and you will go, what happened? Even people that you think are your ride or die will be gone. And you'll be like, what just happened? And that is what happened. Okay. Um, Okay. So, okay, anybody else with anything on what if everything you want is right behind everything you don't? Let me ask you, what's your next action step for this? What step are you going to take to let go of what you don't want or to bring let's not even focus on the negative, to bring in what you do want? What are you going to do to bring it? What's your action step? What is that? Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you so much. What is your action step to bring in what you want? Now, Rebecca's taking a lot of action steps. She's looking. She is. She's looking. She's exploring all of her opportunities. She's loving them. Betty Boop, you already applied and you're waiting. If you haven't started packing, start packing. I feel like it's one of those things, hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. So I feel like you're going to all of a sudden get it. So if everything's not packed, pack. And Fawn, for you, one of your action steps, I think, is just realizing where your ideal location would be. Where do you think you would be happy living? And then Fawn, one thing I'm getting for you, figure out, is it the people around you or is it the location itself? Because that's
It's a location. It's a location. My story's a very long story that I can't really go into on here, but I came back here for a reason. I was misled here, and I left my home, which I love. So I know where I want to go back to already. It's my home that I left.
just go. You know what, Fawn, just do it. Just don't. No more excuses. No more.
Right. Well, we are. They're building the facility that my husband works at currently, so it's a blessing in disguise. I actually got the answer to my. I had asked you about moving. I had narrowed it down to 3 states, and I had been praying on it, and I got the answer from the very person that put me in the circumstance that they were opening a new facility back where I'm from. So I knew that my answer had come forward. So as soon as it opens for transferring,
I love that.
Next year. That's why I can't leave yet because I have to wait for the job.
I love that. What can we ask? What location?
Well, it's back where I'm from. I'm from Redding, California. It's a little town in Northern California.
Okay. Good. That is awesome. And see, I feel like you're going to be able to do that a little sooner than you think, too. I feel like
if that works out, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, who else has anything they want to add? What if everything you want is behind everything you don't? What if letting go is letting the universe bring you what you want? What are you going to do then? What if you knew for a fact that was true? What does that change in your life? Where do you end up? What do you do next? What's your next step? Because that is what you should be doing now. Loving my life, Rebecca, right? Right? Yes, Absolutely.
I'm not sure I got that. I'm sorry. I don't think I could. Can you do that again? Can you say that again? I don't think I understood it the first time you said that.
Yeah. What if, so I'm gonna try to remember, because sometimes when I'm channeling, I don't remember what I said, but I'm gonna try to repeat it the best way I can, or in a way that will help you. What if everything you want is right behind everything you don't? What if letting go of what you don't want allows the universe to bring you everything you do want? What if letting go of, and sometimes for like work, don't just let go of your job. Always have something else there. Find something else. It's much easier to find a job while you have a job. It's much easier to start a side business while you have money coming in. It's much easier to bring in money when you have money. So, with the exception of money, what if letting go of that person, that place, that thing opens up for everything you want to come into you? Because what you don't want, that you're keeping in your life, whatever it is that you're keeping in your life that you don't want, it's bringing your energy down. And in some cases, you don't even have to completely kick people out of your life. You can limit access, controlled access, 2-minute phone calls, that no face to face, just to, hey, how are you? Good, great, awesome, bye. You don't have to go into the long, it starts out good and then ends up in 30 minutes of everything that went wrong in their life. You can limit the access. I want to say this, and it's not with arrogance. I want you to understand something about yourself that nobody teaches. And our parents didn't teach it because they didn't know it and they didn't feel this way. But I'm going to say it, and I really want you to get this. You are a commodity. You are a commodity. Okay, every single person on this plane is a commodity. Our soul, our spirit, whatever you want to call it, is a commodity. Treat it as such. Now, if you were and these are just examples, okay? And I'm just going to throw a number on it because it's just a number. You can use whatever you want. If you were a 20-pound bar of gold, or a 10-carat diamond, or a diamond mine, whatever you want to use as an analogy for a commodity, okay, use it. If you were that, or if you had that, let's do it that way. If you had a 10-carat diamond, who would you let borrow it, take it, use it, play with it? No, nobody. Damn Skippy Jippy. Nobody. Like, I have a 10-carat diamond. No one. Rebecca, Betty Boop, no one. That is straight. But what if you are that 10-carat diamond? Now, who are you going to let use it, borrow it, treat
But that's
badly?
kind of like the trust thing, right? Like when people say, "Oh, I can't trust that person," and you're like, "Well, trust them with what?" You know what I'm saying? Like trust is such a huge word that it's kind of like you would trust somebody with what though? You know what I'm saying? Like I think it varies by person. But if I got a 10-carat diamond ring, nobody would touch it. That took a lot of work to get it.
Yeah, and would you even wear, here's the thing. If you can't trust somebody with one thing, you can't trust them with nothing. Okay, so let me put it this way. And in my new book, this is in my new book that I'm still, it's done, but I have to do a final steps. When we have people in our life that are, people say, are unhealthy or toxic, or they have a personality disorder, um, would they treat a puppy the way they treat you? Would they treat a brand new infant the way they treat you? And if the answer is no, then they're choosing to behave that way. It's not something they can't help. But if you can't trust someone to be faithful, to not get angry, to have good character, to not steal, then you can't trust them for anything. Because what I personally have found, it doesn't matter if they're stealing $1 or $1,000. If they have the opportunity and they'll do it, they'll just do it. So there's no qualification to trust. If your gut is telling you, I can't trust that person, just don't trust them. Don't say, well, I can trust them with a bowl of rice, but I can't trust them with this. There's it's either there or it's not. And it's okay. It's okay to be honest, at least with yourself. And that's the thing. The conflict doesn't lie between you and the other person, because they don't even know you're going back and forth in your head trying to figure it out. The conflict lies between what you know and what you're ready to do about it. The conflict lies between your head and your heart. The conflict lies between, I know this person is like this, but if I let them go, it's going to cause family problems. It's going to cause drama. It's going to hurt to let them go. And yes, you know what? Sometimes it's the most painful thing you can do is let somebody go sometimes, especially if you love that person. But you got to love yourself more. You have got to love yourself more than you love the person hurting you. And that there is, and if let me put it to you this way, because everybody gets this as soon as let me say it to you this way. Think of the person that you love the most in your life, your dog, your child, your niece, your sister, whomever it is, your mom, your dad, whomever it is. Think of the person you love the absolute most in your life. Think of the circumstance, the thing, the person, the home, that whatever it is. Would you want them in this circumstance? If it's not good enough for them, it's not good enough for you. And believe me, whether you know this or not, whether you believe it or not, they are watching and they are going to accept what the people around them accept. The same way we're accepting what our parents and our elders accepted. Right? So if you're a diamond, whether you're a 1-carat diamond, a 10-carat diamond, if you're a diamond, if you're a bar of gold, not if you have it, if you are it, and you are, who do you let have access to you? Now, let me be clear. I'm not coming from an egoic standpoint. I'm not saying you're better or worse than anyone. What I am saying is you are an amazing child of this universe, of God, your true source, and you were not put here to sit in what you do not want. You were put here to create everything you do want. You were not put here to suffer through people who don't understand their own worth, let alone yours, people who don't understand how to treat themselves, let alone other people. You were put here to treat yourself impeccably and have character, morals, and ethics for yourself that says, this is acceptable and this is not. And in doing so, teaching others what's acceptable and what's not for themselves and for you. You were put here to break the paradigm, to break what the limiting beliefs are, to get into unimaginable living life and what you really want. Until you let yourself explore all the possibilities, to be just a little delusional, a little out there with what you can have. Because once you decide you want something, the universe will start bringing you all the ways to get it. The universe will start bringing you the resources, start having things pop up in front of you, hearing conversations. The universe will do that once you've decided. They will confirm it on confirm it on confirm it for you. You just have to make the decision. This is what's for me. So, Rebecca, yeah, if your kids are telling you you should learn about this or you should cook, that's the universe, God talking through them, your angels whispering out of their mouth. And that is everything. That is everything. That is absolutely everything. So just the way you want the people in your life that you love to have everything, it starts with you, because people don't understand by your words. They understand by seeing somebody else do it first. And to the extent that you do it, especially at this age that we are all at, this beautiful, amazing age that we are all at, then they know they can do that and even more at any age. All of their excuses will go when you obliterate all of yours. And an excuse is a fear waiting to be squashed. That's it. An excuse is a fear waiting to be squashed. An excuse is like a bully that can't even fight. All like bluster, but no action. All you have to do is just obliterate it. Do it. And just, I want everyone to have everything. I want everyone to live a life that they couldn't even have thought or wouldn't even have thought. Like they could, it would come into your mind, but then you would let it go. The reason it comes into your mind, the reason you see that car, that house, that money, that is because it's a part of your path and you have to choose it and you have to walk it. So you have this path that you're on, and maybe this path right now, it looks the way it does. And it's a good path. It's gotten you to where you are. And then you see this path and you'll see a glimpse of the house or the car or the business or the job or whatever it is. And then all of a sudden, you decide those aren't just glimpses. That's the universe giving me every single confirmation I ever needed and wanted. And you start walking toward that, knowing, with all knowing that if it's in your heart and if it's in your head, it's meant for you because it is. It's 1,000,000% meant for you. If listen, I never, ever, ever, ever think about a Corvette. Because I'm not, I don't see the appeal. I don't. Because this is just not what I want. It's not meant for me. Ugh, right? But there are two vehicles that my heart just goes more so than any boy I've ever met. Like I think of this vehicle and I'm like, oh, I look at it the way we look at chocolate ice cream. I swear to goodness. Right? Right? I'm just like, oh. That's because it's meant. It's part of what is a journey if I decide to go down that road. And I don't want it. I don't want this vehicle because of the name on it. I don't want the vehicle because of the status. There's just something about this vehicle. Whenever I see it, I feel it. And we all have that. For some people, it's a Harley. For some people, it's a what do they call a crotch rocket? For some people, it's something completely different. It's like some people see a cat and they're like, "Oh, kitty." Some people see a dog and they're like, "Oh, doggy." Some people see a horse and they're like, "Giddy up." Okay, like we all have our things, and we have them because they're meant as part of our purpose. They're 1,000,000% meant as part of our journey. If we let go of the excuses, if we let go of the justifications, we can be in that space where nothing will hold us back. And let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. The moment you start going after it, the more that will come in. The more that will flood you. And before you know it, there's just all of it. It's all there. It's all coming at you, and it's amazing. You start seeing things you never thought you would see. I'm going to give you an example. This one is actually about me. I've been in a lot of really nice houses. I mean, very nice houses. I've been in beautiful homes, right? I've been in some I was in the Playboy Mansion, nice, very nice. I've been in very, very nice houses, gorgeous houses, gorgeous houses. And through my growing up, I've been in some very beautiful big houses, nice ones. When one of my siblings purchased their home, and it was a brand new build home in this suburb, and I walked in, I was just like, all I could say all the way through the house, and to this day still get picked on for it, like they joke about it, like, oh my God, this is just amazing. It's so amazing. And it opened my idea of what is available. It opened me further. Okay. And we've all had that experience, right? Where whether it's a vehicle, whether it's a home, whether it's a place where you work, it's like we used to go into this is another crazy example. For the girlies, we used to go into the place to get our nails done, and it was just row after row of people, kind of just basic, right? Nothing fancy. Now you walk into the places and they have like crystal chandeliers and they look like you're walking into like high-end spas. Okay, so there's another example. The idea is open up to it. Just open everything in you up and tell. This is one of the things I love, 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 love doing this. I tell the universe, show me. Show me what's for me. Give me the sign. Show me. Show me how to. Show me where to. Show me if this is right. Whether it's a person, place, or thing, show me, tell me, give it to me, make it blatant in my face. Show me. And I allow the universe to guide it beautifully. And it might take a moment for those signs to come forward, but they do come. And the more open and receptive and the more I'm peeping for things, the more the signs will come, which is pretty amazing. So just do that, you guys, do that. I want to give you next week's question. Next week's question is dun dun dun. Ooh, I love this one. Okay. Oh my God, I love this. I love this. I love this. What if the world you leave is the world you return to? And the reason I love this is because I actually channeled something that was that I channeled something that the message came in that, and we'll go over this next Tuesday, but what if the world you leave is the world you return to? Okay, ponder that until next week. Catherine, Sal, Rebecca, Fawn, Betty Boop. Hey, Gord, welcome to the room. Thank you so much for being here. Next Tuesday at noon, I will be back. We will do all of this all over again. And yeah, who's on air? Rebecca?
Thank you, Toni.
Oh my
you can
God.
remember it, sorry.
You're so
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Yeah, you guys, thank you. Thank you so much. And you guys, next week, if you want to call in next week, you can join us on Podbean and call in and give your answer, or you can just do it in the chat. I know some people are working. Hey, everybody from the show, Heather did have her surgery. Everything is going okay. It's a little bit challenging. She has one more surgery, just keeping people updated for her and her prayers. But she is in recovery right now. So I'm sure as soon as she's up to it, she'll be back on with us. So just so everybody knows. And tomorrow night at 7 p.m., I'll be back on with Q&A. You can come on and ask your questions, connect with loved ones. Hey, Todd, thanks for joining. You're joining at the end, unfortunately. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. I love you all so much. And let's get ready for next week's question. Go back and read over, like everybody has been saying, when you go back and look at the questions, even tomorrow, when you look at this question for today's question again, what if everything you want is behind everything that you don't? You're gonna like it should be a little different even by tomorrow. So, and plan those action steps. What do you want to do? Where do you focus more on what you want and where you want to be than you do what you don't want? Because what we focus on, the more we focus on it, the more it shows up for us and we have it. So if we're only focusing on, oh my gosh, these people, or my icky boss, or this horrible place I work, or I don't make enough money, if we start just flipping that to, I'm going to be here, I'm I am making this. I am having that. I am having the. Here's one of my things, and this is just me personally. You're welcome, Gord. One of my things that I do is I don't look at a house and say, "Oh, that's a beautiful house," but I can't. I never say I can't. I say that there's a goal. That's a goal. I love that house. That's a goal. And I never, when I'm looking at something, if anybody else pops into my head, I know it's from ego, not from my spirit. So if there's ever a comparison, it's ego. Okay. And we want to kind of because once we step into ego, we're constantly competing and comparing, and the only thing we want is to fulfill our heart, to fulfill our soul, to fulfill that within us that makes us feel whole again. Um, so focus on that. Like, I love where you guys are and where we're going with this. Just make an action step for one small thing and then another, and you will be amazed. Instead of saying, I need to get rid of people with bad energy, say, oh my God, I'm having all these new people come into my life that have the greatest energy. We're thriving. If you want to be an entrepreneur, start hanging around entrepreneurs. If you want to, relocate, start talking to people back in your home area or where you're going to relocate to. Whatever it is, start making that it. Okay, you guys, I love you so much. We could do this for like 5 hours, but I know that's probably not practical for any of us. So I'm just gonna force myself to stop talking now. I love you guys so much. Have an amazing day. I will see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. End. End. Okay, I'm trying to end it with my finger, and yeah, there's a mouse. It's a cursor. It's not a touch screen. Okay, you guys. Have an amazing event. I love you.